Crocheting over your ends is a really simple way to make finishing your project easier in the long run. So I've gone ahead and switched colors, and I'm ready to begin my next stripe. So I'm going to begin by chaining one in my new color and turning my work. Now I'm using the standard single crochet stitch for this technique. This would also work for half double crochet, double crochet. I'd recommend it for any solid fabric stitch, but if you're doing a lace stitch or a stitch that has open spaces, I would recommend sticking with just weaving your ends as normal so that it is as invisible as possible. So I'm going to insert my hook into the very first stitch as normal. And then as I'm inserting that, I'm going to go ahead and put it under those 2 strands of yarn as well. So this gray strand is the strand that I cut for my first color. And then this is the tail, the pink one is the tail of my new color. So I have the first stitch of my row on my hook, and then those 2 tails as well. I'm going to yarn over like normal and complete that single crochet. And now those tails are encased but invisible in that stitch. Now I'm going to do that a few more times to weave it in securely. So I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch, also under those 2 tails, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And like I said, if you're doing a half double crochet or a double crochet, simply just work the stitch as normal and ignore the single crochet instructions. So a couple more times, insert, going through the stitch and under both of those tails, and work the crochet stitch. I like to do this about 5 to 6 times to weave it in nice and securely. And then you can choose to cut those ends now or cut them once your project is finished. Either way is completely fine. For the sake of this video, I will go ahead and cut them. My biggest tip to do that is just to cut as close to the fabric as possible. This is where I kind of recommend waiting until your project is complete to cut the ends, because you run the risk of accidentally snipping your working yarn or the stitch that you just made, and it can just be really annoying to do that. So I will go ahead and cut them though. I'm just going to go as close as possible to the fabric, just like this, and just trim both of them. Just like so. And now those ends are nice and woven in. We don't have to worry about them for the rest of the project. And that is how to weave in your ends as you go. I hope you enjoyed this technique video and found it both helpful and useful. Don't forget to check out the description box below for the links to everything I used in this specific tutorial, as well as links to the places where you can find me on social media and all of my pattern shops. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy making. Bye!